Hello and welcome to another episode of Joel's Moment of Truth. In this episode, I'll be discussing Elijah. Elijah was a prophet. His story can be found in 1st and 2nd Kings. He is a man of God and is one of the more well-known prophets. There's so much to tell about him, but I'm only going to tell bits and pieces of it. One of the stories about Elijah that is well known is his battle with the prophets of Baal. So basically, he has a battle with the prophets of Baal to see which god was real. So they went to the top of Mount Carmel to duke it out. Elijah lets the prophets of Baal go first. So the prophets of Baal start shouting to try and get Baal to light the altar that they have set up. Of course, Elijah knows that nothing is going to happen, so as it says in 1 Kings 18 verse 27. About noontime, Elijah began mocking them. "You'll have to shout louder," he scoffed, "for surely he is a god. Perhaps he is daydreaming, or is relieving himself, or maybe he is away on a trip, or is asleep and needs to be wakened." Anyway, so that's what Elijah says. Prophets of Baal continue to call out all day until evening. So then Elijah makes an altar to the Lord using 12 stones. Then he puts the wood on the altar. And then he got some people to pour a ton of water on it. And this is what happens according to 1 Kings 18 verse 36 to 40. At the usual time for offering the evening sacrifice, Elijah the prophet walked up to the altar and prayed, "O Lord, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, prove today that you are the God of Israel and that I am your servant. Prove that I have done this at your command. O Lord, answer me. Answer me so these people will know that you, O Lord, are God, that you have brought them back to yourself." Immediately the fire of the Lord flashed down from heaven and burned up the young bull, the stones, the wood, and the dust. It even licked up all the water in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell down on the ground and cried out, "The Lord is God. Yes, the Lord is God." Then Elijah commanded, "Seize all the prophets of Baal. Don't let a single one escape." So then the people seized them all. Elijah took them down to the Kishon Valley and killed them there. So that's what happened. What happens after this event is just as interesting. So you see, there have been no rain in Israel for 3 years. However, Elijah knew a rainstorm was coming. So he went to the top of Mount Carmel to pray and had his servant keep looking to see if there were any clouds. When the servant finally saw a cloud, Elijah tells King Ahab, who was king of Israel at the time, to get in his chariot and go back to the palace. In case you forgot, King Ahab was a wicked king who was married to Jezebel, who was pagan, who hated Elijah. So anyway, God gave Elijah special strength so that he could run ahead of Ahab's chariot. Horses can pull a chariot at about 35 to 40 miles per hour, around 60 kilometers per hour. So basically, just really fast. With God's help, Elijah was the fastest man alive. You were wondering where people got the idea of superheroes from. Well, now you do. From the Bible. However, that is not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Elijah. We always seem to see Elijah as a man who had great faith. He is a good role model, and it can make us feel as though we can never measure up. There are two things wrong with this way of thinking. The first is that Elijah was only a man of faith. He did have great faith, but that did not mean he did not get scared. Elijah did very well indeed get scared. He actually got scared after the whole thing that I just talked about happened. So you see, after all this went down, Jezebel was angry because Elijah had just killed all her prophets of Baal. So she sent Elijah a death threat. This made Elijah scared, so I went and hid in the wilderness and just wanted to die. But the Lord sent the angel of the Lord to feed him. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that Elijah got scared, and that's not a bad thing because God was with him and helped him overcome his fear. You're scared, remember that God is with you. The second thing that's wrong with what I said earlier is that we have to measure up. We think that we have to measure up, we have grace all wrong. See, grace is a free gift that God gives us. There's nothing we can do to deserve it. All we can do is accept it and try to serve Him with all we have. God doesn't give His grace because we are good, but instead because we are not. We are all sinners and God sent Jesus so that we can be saved. This has been Joel's Moment of Truth, and this is the last episode.